Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of my SSA Q&A mini-series. Today I'm going to talk about whether or not I can be cured of my same-sex desires. So I want to go ahead and put a disclaimer out before we begin this video that this particular question is a very sensitive one and a very controversial one. My answer is based off of my own personal experiences and what I understand of Catholic Church teaching. I am not a theologian. I am not the Pope. I am not Jesus. Please don't come for me if my answer is not what you want to hear or what you were expecting. This is a question that keeps coming up, whether it's in Q&A sessions or just in my message box or in my YouTube comments. I always get asked this question. So I guess the first thing that I want to talk about when addressing this particular question of whether or not I can be cured of my same-sex attraction is addressing the misconception of what SSA or same-sex attraction even is. I've noticed especially that a lot of people look at same-sex attractions as some kind of disease or disorder or illness that can and should be cured. There's such a stigma around SSA to the point where, again, people almost insist that there's no way you can get to heaven if you are not cured or fixed of these desires. I've even been told that I should look into exorcists because I have a demon living within me that I could be delivered from. So I want to just shake your world here. I'm not sick. I don't think I'm possessed. My same-sex attractions are merely exactly that. They are same-sex attractions. It is not a disease. It is not something that is wrong with me. It is merely an attraction. It is merely a human desire. We must remember that we are human beings. We are sexual beings, and we are also broken beings. All of us are broken in our own ways, whether that be pride or lust or envy. We all are broken as part of our human condition ever since the fall of Adam and Eve. Therefore, when I talk about my same-sex attractions, I just see it as an aspect of my brokenness of being human and being a sinner. We must remember that even the Catechism lays out and the Catholic Church teaches that the desires of same-sex attraction themselves are not sinful. It is acting upon the desires, living out those desires, that is when the sin becomes. So therefore, this whole concept of curing this desire that isn't even sinful, it just doesn't exactly make all sense to me. And some may argue, as according to the Catechism of the Catholic Church, that same-sex desires are listed as intrinsically disordered. I remind them, the Catechism also says that heterosexual lust, being a man and looking at another woman in a lustful way, is also intrinsically disordered. Literally, word for word. Therefore, just as a man who experiences lustful thoughts towards another woman is called to deny those disordered human desires because they are not in order with God's plan, they're human, right? So are we who experience same-sex attraction called to deny our disordered human desires. It's all disordered human desires. So just as a man who experiences lustful thoughts towards another woman can potentially be fixed or delivered, then yes, technically speaking, so can someone who experiences same-sex attraction. However, that isn't the absolutely necessary requirement or vocation for holiness, and the same goes for those who experience same-sex attractions. It is all sexual temptation, and being sexual beings, we are all called to deny those temptations, to fight against our own fleshly human desires. And this whole concept of curing these attractions that aren't even, technically speaking, sinful, according to the Church and according to the Catechism, isn't the answer. Ever since the beginning of time with Adam and Eve, they wanted the answer. And to this day, we still, as human beings, have not learned our lesson and still want answers. We are so fixated on why. And it's like, no. We need to stop fixating. The church doesn't call us to that. The church calls us to a vocation of chastity. A beautiful vocation, might I add. A difficult one, yes. I see my same-sex attractions as a cross. And we all have our cross to carry. It is up to you whether or not you want to carry that cross. I can't be one to say, at the end of the day, that's for you to answer to God. The Catechism talks about, in our call to chastity, in our special vocation, gradually, if living in accordance to church teaching and truth, we should approach Christian perfection. That is exciting. That is motivating. That is beautiful. Chastity is a beautiful thing. This is a hard cross I'm carrying, and I need others to be carrying it alongside with me. I don't need you to be watching from afar and saying, how did you get there? Why are you there with that cross? No, I need you to pick up that cross with me and walk with me towards heaven. That is what I need. That is what the church calls us to walk with each other. We know this is a cross. We might not know why or how, but we know this is a cross. That is what we need to be focusing on. That is, as Christians, what we need to be putting our attention and effort towards, leading each other closer to heaven. But there is a however to all of this, okay? So just as the church teaches that we are called to vocations of chastity and we are called to deny these attractions, I cannot also sit here and deny the possibility of these attractions one day or another fading or dissipating. I personally know people who have had success stories. It is, in fact, possible over time through therapy, because of a possible underlying factor, have been able to be rid of these attractions per se. And to say it's impossible would be limiting God, and our God is a God of the impossible, so therefore I don't think it's in my place or anyone's place to say what he can and can't do with an individual. And this goes the same with people who might experience a pornography addiction or a masturbation addiction or lustful thoughts. Those redemptions can and do happen through the grace of God. However, just because some people may have had success stories doesn't mean that all of us will, or that all of us need to. So to wrap things up and answer this question, can I be cured of my same-sex attractions? The answer is sure. Hypothetically speaking, God can heal or cure any and all things. So sure, I can be cured. However, I don't live for that. I don't wake up in the morning hoping that God will take away these attractions and heal me of these attractions. No, I wake up in the morning pursuing the vocation that I know I'm called to of chastity, asking God for the strength and the perseverance, the patience, and the willingness to continue walking this difficult yet beautiful path. I live for my vocation and for my God, not to be fixed or to be cured. And again, for those people who have experienced that healing, I don't look down on them. I think it's a beautiful, amazing example of God's grace and His mercy. God has worked many miracles over the years. However, all the miracles He's worked are different. And just because one person may experience a particular type of miracle doesn't mean that we all will. He works in mysterious ways, and He works in different ways through each of us and with each of us. Thank you guys so much for watching. That was such a tricky one to answer, but we did it. If you like this content and want to see more content like this, please feel free to hit the subscribe button down below. I try to make videos every other week on my channel. Along with that, hit the bell notification button to be notified every time a new video of mine is released. Also, if you would like to show some love to this video, please feel free to hit the like button. Feel free to leave a comment on this video as you may wish. I love hearing from you guys, and I love reading your comments, and I try to reply to as many as I can every video cycle. I will also leave a link in the description below to my social media and my blog site in case you are interested in checking those out and following me on my journey there. And I thank you guys so much for watching. Have a very amazing day, and God bless.